Welcome back to Broncos Beat. Alexis Perry here alongside James Palmer, Cecil, Lammey, and Ryan Koenigsberg. You guys, when the Broncos-Patriots game was pushed back a full week, some people were really upset because that gave Cam Newton another week to get medically cleared to play the Broncos. I, on the other hand, was actually a little excited to see Newton play up against this team because I wanted to see if the Broncos still had his number, even though that number was on a different jersey. Newton was 0-3 against the Broncos heading into Sunday's game, and while it wasn't Von Miller out there making his nightmares come true, Denver's defense still had Newton out of rhythm. You guys, what impressed you most about this Denver defensive game plan against the Patriots?
It's the front seven, honestly. When you look at how to beat this Cam Newton Patriots-led team, they don't have any tight ends of note. They've got multiple running backs that you can use as receivers out of the backfield, and Cam Newton as a runner. They don't have any wide receivers. Julian Edelman looks like he's 100 years old. N'Keal Harry's just not that good. So what you do is you mush rush Cam Newton, meaning you drop as deep as he is, and then you collapse the pocket. So you saw with that pass rush, you saw Shelby Harris out there batting down those passes. So really the front seven of that defense made the day better, allowed for those turnovers to happen, allowed for that pressure to Cam Newton, because that is a very one-dimensional team. You're not going to spy Cam Newton. Nobody on this team is athletic enough to do that. But if you mush rush, if you work together, everyone flies the football, and you get great play from those guys up front, like Shelby Harris, like Mike Purcell, that allows those pass rushers to go nuts. That helps out your secondary, and we saw it all come to fruition on Sunday.
Well, what jumped out at me the most, really, and Cecil kind of touched on it a little bit, where it says, everybody's flying to the ball and everybody's really doing their part. I think it's the second effort. I think you saw that multiple times where maybe the first part of the play, you didn't do the right thing. But the effort was there, and maybe we questioned that a little bit before. The second effort, a couple of times getting to Cam Newton. You look at Michael Ojemudia and how he went after the football when it's carried in the wrong hand after he makes a mistake in coverage. I think that second effort stood out to me, and that's coached. And I think that's important to remember. Have we maybe been on Vic Fangio a little bit lately? I think that's a big aspect of how they came away with a W.
I just loved the way they used the safeties in this game. This offense has not shown a comfortability or a willingness to throw the ball deep. And the Broncos said, cool, if you're going to do that, then we're going to bring up Justin Simmons. We're going to bring up Kareem Jackson. We're going to try and plug those run holes. And you saw, multiple times Kareem Jackson just being an absolute wrecking ball, just throwing his body in there to knock someone down and mess up the play. And I just love that they did that because this, like you said, Cecil, this offense from the Patriots is one-dimensional. And as soon as you take that away and you make them uncomfortable, you saw that they were very mediocre.
Well, that final defensive play of the game, 4th and 10 on Denver's 24, Coach Fangio sends the double safety blitz to wreck the comeback dreams. Were you guys surprised by that call?
And playing man coverage.
Yeah.
Surprised by that call because Vic Fangio doesn't normally do that. I'm not going to say he doesn't like to do that. What does he want to do? Win. And James, Ryan, you guys both brought it up, and the fact that how energized this team plays for him. This is a good win. You get a lot of people out there, oh, well, look at the records of the teams. Yeah, it's the Jets, whatever. We celebrated, but this is a good win against a good team. Now, their offense has some struggles, but to be able to do that, to trust your guys in that blitzing situation, game on the line, I thought it was a great call by Coach Fangio.
It's knowing your guys, Cecil, you're right, and it's knowing how to call a game. I know Vic Fangio is still young in terms of as a head coach. In calling plays and when to call them and knowing what to draw up as a defensive coordinator, he's about as experienced as you can get and one of the smarter minds on that side of the ball. If you ask players in that locker room, they'll hardly ever question him, Alexis, about his calls and about when he has them. I think that shows the faith they have in him. And he has a lot of faith in them when you make gutsy calls like that they're going to come through and perform in a play that you just put in that week. And I think that really shows something about his play calling and how he has a connection with a couple of these guys on that side of the ball.
Yeah, we often talk about, throwing a new look at a quarterback to confuse them. Well, Vic Fangio called a play that he said he's never called. So talk about a new look. There's no way they could have seen that one coming.
Well, heading into their Week 6 matchup, the Broncos had 2 takeaways in 4 games. Yesterday, they had 3 total, and it was Deshaun Williams who got the party started. How important are those takeaways for this team in terms of confidence moving forward?
Yeah, confidence, and I'll go back to momentum,
Oh.
right? And I didn't even bring up Deshaun Williams when I was talking about those guys up front, but when you're able to find that sort of quality talent, Sylvester Williams out there from first round to practice squad, he was making plays for this team as a rotational guy, and it just helps you build the confidence and knowing that the defense is going to lead the way. The offense is going to make some turnovers, right? And that's going to happen in a football game, but that confidence that your defense can carry the load, carry the way. We saw that yesterday for the Broncos.
Okay, you guys, there's a lot of players to choose from here, but you can only choose one. Which Broncos defensive player would you give a game ball to?
Man, there are so many options here.
I know you got Malik Reed had 2 sacks. Anthony Chickalo, he got involved. Michael Ojemudia had a solid game. Like, there's a lot of options.
I'm going to go Malik Reed. You need those type of plays late in games to just change the momentum, to stop, when they're making their moves down the field. You got to have someone who stops it. You got to have in baseball, you got to have your ace to stop the slide. And Malik Reed, coming in support was just awesome. Did a great job of reading the eyes of the quarterback and getting back there and just making that play that you need. A lot of times, especially in the last couple of years, the Broncos haven't gotten that play when they need something big late. Malik Reed coming through and I got to give the game ball to him.
No ace, right? I think that's the point that we should bring up. Malik Reed's playing because no Von Miller. You don't have Jarrell Casey. I give it to that whole group up front, Cecil, about how they played, because it's not a lot of names. Probably Patriots fans were going, well, who are these guys making these plays up front? Who are these guys that are coming through? I think I give it to the whole group up front and being able to stop them very well on first and second down and setting this entire defense up for success throughout this game. I give it to all those guys that probably a lot of people outside of Denver Broncos country didn't really know about, and they really stepped up.
And there's nothing more frustrating as a quarterback than when you see a guy come open, you go to make the throw, and it's batted down. Shelby Harris gets a game ball from me. Keep it up, kid.
2 PDs, baby. All right, you guys, this defense has a lot of confidence after what they did to Cam Newton and the Patriots offense, and they're going to need that confidence as they host the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday. We'll have Denver's keys to victory coming up after the break.